Imaginers, if you are watching the replay, not watching live, then please comment with the word replay. We want to know if you're watching after the fact. So we're trying different times for these live streams. We are trying with guests. We're trying just me. We're trying all sorts of things. We want to see what works best for you. What is the most fun for everybody. So we want to know if you're watching the replay or not. Now, with that said, if you're watching live, I am so happy you're here. It's a really fun day. Wednesdays are a really fun day for us because, for me in particular, because I get to talk with you and sort of face to face, not really face to face, more comment to face, but you get to see some of the humans behind Imagen, and that is that's fun. Okay, so if you are watching live and you have any questions for me during the live stream, please comment and ask. That is what this is all about. And also, if you're watching really for the first time through Facebook, please know that we are using Restream. So you actually need to connect Restream and your Facebook account in order for us to see your name when you comment. Otherwise, we will just see Facebook user. And finally, we want to know where you are tuning in from. We have Imaginers all over the world, so I'd love to see and see who's watching from where. And also, please comment with what you are photographing this weekend. Now, if you have a question, super important. The whole point of this, again, as I said, is to answer your questions. I have 3 pre-submitted questions. Otherwise, well, the more questions, the better. So we have Stephanie. Hello, Stephanie. Thanks for joining today. We have, and Stephanie is actually coming from Quebec, Canada. Hello, up north of me. And Ross is coming from Australia. Hi, Ross. Nice to see you here. And Stephanie is also photographing a wedding this weekend. That is awesome. Very, very awesome. Okay, so we've got a bunch of people watching so far. Just got a couple comments. Please go ahead, start submitting your questions. I'm going to dive in to the pre-submitted questions we have. And hopefully, when I get through those, we'll have some additional questions from you watching live. If you want me to demonstrate something, if you want to see a talent profiles, edits, anything, now is the time to get those comments in. Let me know what you'd like to see, what you'd like answered, and so on. Oh, before I dive into the pre-submitted questions, I do want to mention there's been a bunch of support messages, support posts going into the Imagen community. We are declining any support posts because the Imagen community is not about support. If you posted a question and it wasn't really a personal support question, but we still declined it and said that we declined it because it's a support question, if you feel like it wasn't a support question, please let us know. We can always undo the decline and post your post. But sometimes people, the way they write it, it comes across as a support question. So there's been a couple instances where that's happened. And if that has happened to you, I apologize. I do my best to filter out actual support questions that are like personal support questions. If it's a general question, we want that asked, of course. But anytime it's a personal support question to your specific needs, that's something that we are proactively creating tickets for you with your message so that our support team can handle that for you. We got some more posts. Adam, when will the picking out software come out? So that, Adam, you've asked me that multiple times. The culling software, no ETA yet. Once we have an ETA, we will share that with you. Ross, thanks for asking a great question, too. I have used one of your talent profiles for sport as a base and done minor adjustments, and I am able to develop that as my own. If so, how? Yes, you can. Thanks for asking. I'm actually working on a video. Our support team has some tutorials they can share with you as well on how to do it. But basically, yeah. So you would edit, all of your jobs, right? You'd edit all your jobs with our talent profiles, and you'd build up this database of this portfolio of 5,000 or more edits that you've done with our talent profile. Ross, out of curiosity, which talent profile are you using? So you'd build up this gallery, this portfolio, this catalog of 5,000 or more photos that you've done with our talent profile, and then done your fine-tuning on. Now, obviously, you can't fine-tune a talent profile, and that's where building your own profile comes into play. So once you have those 5,000 or more photos, you're literally just creating a personal profile. So let me share my screen, and I'll show you how that looks. Okay, so Ross, you've created your portfolio using one of the talents. Again, I don't know which talent you're using. I'd love to know which you're using. And of course, if you want to, by the way, post those in the community right now. I can let me know when you've done so, a gallery of photos with whatever talent profile you're using. I can approve that, and then I can actually bring that up on the screen as well. I'd love to share that live. Okay, so let's say you were using Michael Anthony's California Dreaming, right? So you created it. You created all this catalog of 5,000 more photos. You've made your fine tunes on. Now you'd go to my AI profiles and create your own profile. Go through the process, name it whatever you want, and you would basically create this profile based on those 5,000 or more edits that you started with from a talent profile. So it's a fairly straightforward process. It's just, I guess a lot of people don't realize that you can do that, but that's the cool part, is that because all the edit data from the talent profile is in there, we can still see that when you create your own profile. So Ross says, I use a couple different ones for different work, and also clean and crisp for sport. That's a great profile. That's Susan Stripling's profile. Adam, no worries. You can ask as many times as you want. I just won't have a new answer for you until I have a new answer. So no, I appreciate the desire. So Ross, if you do wind up going to the Imagen community and posting a gallery of photos that you've done with Susan's clean and crisp profile or whatever, let me know. Let me know, because I'm not monitoring the community right now. But if you comment saying I just posted it, I can quickly open a new tab, approve it, and bring that up on the screen for everybody to see. I would love to see the photos. So, yeah. Okay. Bring that back up. Okay. So if you have additional comments, please be sure to, additional questions or requests, please be sure to ask that soon. Let me get to some of the pre-submitted questions again. I only have 3. The first one is from Neil. He says, will you guys ever produce monthly rates instead of per image? Well, Neil, we actually do have monthly rates, but it's not like a monthly rate with unlimited edits. And there's a reason for that, but there's a bunch of reasons for that, actually. But we do have monthly rates available. It depends on the volume of edits you're doing a month, so a year rather. So we had one that was like 6,000 edits a month, I think is what it was. We now have another monthly package that we just actually announced to our Imaginers that we're actually doing the volume of 36,000 edits a year. We now have a package for that. So if you are doing extremely high volumes and you are interested in a custom package, please just open a ticket with support. Here's how to do that. You just go to support.imagen-ai.com. You can go ahead and you can say, I'm doing X amount of photos a month or a year. Do you have any custom packages available for me? How much is it? And all that stuff. Now, they work a little different than the pay-as-you-go plans, but people are signing up. They're utilizing it. They're getting these static monthly payments instead of varying depending on what you edit. And it gives you this large quota to use for an entire year, basically. Okay, so there is one question done. I got a question from, oh, let me bring back up the other. Okay, next question is from Erin. Erin says, when using Imagen culling, so this is a culling question, will it operate similar to Photo Mechanic where you import only the selected photos into Lightroom Classic, or will it have to import every photo and use a rating system to filter down selections? So I don't have too much to share on culling. What I will tell you is that it will utilize a Lightroom catalog, I believe in the beginning, but I think the plan is to support folders as well. So you're going to start with your Lightroom catalog just like you do right now with your edits. The thing is that we're building the culling system into the existing workflow of Imagen and how it, so it's going to be very similar to what you're used to with Imagen as is. So you'll be familiar with that workflow. Now, will it operate similar to Photo Mechanic? I can't give you much details other, on that front. But what I can tell you as well is that once the culling is done, we plan to support not only Lightroom Classic but also Photo Mechanic for like viewing the photos that were culled. So you can then go in and dig deeper into what we've done and make your adjustments. So, yeah, we hope to have some culling goodies to share with you very, very soon. As soon as I do, I promise I'm going to be doing a live stream with that because I know that's something you're all dying for. So we're gonna get there. I promise. Okay, let me see. I got a couple comments. What do I have? Christian, hello. How's it going? Thanks for joining. Thanks for tuning in. Where you're tuning in from, and also what are you shooting this weekend? Inquiring minds want to know. Okay. Now my last pre-submitted question is, and so hopefully you're getting some more questions ready for me. Post your comments with your questions, your requests. I can demo something in the app, whatever you'd like to see. Let me know. Okay. Jorge asks, will the app auto update, or do I need to download the newest version and reinstall it manually? So, two answers to this question. There is an auto updater built into the app. It auto updates when the app is closing. So during the closing process, we're seeing if when it's open, we are seeing if the app needs to be updated. And if it does, we're downloading the update in the background. You don't see it happening. When the app closes, the app updates. And when you reopen it, you'll see the new version. Where do you see the version number? Let me bring this back up on the screen. Let's close that. Okay. So the version number, if you go open the app and go to My Account, at the bottom in this dark gray text, because it doesn't need to be too visible, it actually has a version number. You can see the latest version is basically 22.7.26/873. I know it's a whole bunch of gibberish. That's just a bunch of developer lingo, so they know exactly what version as far as like what changes were made when and all this other stuff. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that means July 26th, and then basically a minor version, 873. So with that said, so that's the latest version. If this was outdated and I closed the app and then reopened it, 2 minutes later, I'd see a different version number. Now, with that said, there was a bug during the initial beta process and initial launch of the app where the auto update was not working. We are actually, we just sent out an email today to all the Imaginers that have this bug and we're not getting the auto update. So if you got that email, please download the either the Mac or the Windows version from the email. That's the latest version. You'll just override the existing app and you'll have auto updating working again if it's not working for you currently. Okay, so Catalina, will more talents be added in the upcoming months, or are the current photographers the only ones? There are much more to come. So we currently have We currently have all of these awesome photographers with our talents. We are working on additionals. We're in talks for some JPEG profiles because we know that that's been asked for a while. We're in talks for some more black and white profiles. We know that's been asked a bunch. And we're in talks for additional raw talent profiles. Some that are light and airy, which has been very popular request. Some that are darker, more moody. Some that are very similar to film replicas. We're in talks for a bunch. And if you have any thoughts on who you would like to see as a talent in Imagen, let us know. You can share that in the community. You can go to our support and ask that or submit that. There's even in our documentation, our knowledge base, there's a whole thing on talent profiles, and there's actual form you can submit to the actual photographer that you want included. And we can then get in touch with that photographer if we're not already in talks. So yes, the plan is to have 20 or so, maybe even a little more depending, but we want to fill that with diverse set of talent profiles. So we're covering all the bases in all the, various different dramatic, different editing styles. So great question, Catalina. Alicia, hello from Newfoundland, Canada. Oh, we got two Canadians today. That's great. Wedding this weekend. That's awesome. And Christian, you're in Italy. That's awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Catalina, very cool. I didn't know that. I don't know what I was talking about when you commented with that, so I apologize. Don't know what you're exactly referring to, but yeah. Okay. Gary, I have recommended a photographer who's now a paid customer, yet it shows that they haven't become a paid member yet. How long does this process take for us to get the referral reward, please? So Gary, if the paid customer has not made the first official payment, for example, if the customer is still in the trial period, like still trial credits left, then I believe that's not tracked as a referral yet. If you think that your referral is in fact already paying, paying for edits on a regular basis, and you haven't gotten the credit, open a ticket with support. We can look into it, and we'll definitely get you that credit if you if somehow something wasn't working. We definitely want to know if something's not working, so we can fix that for you, and fix it. Make sure it doesn't happen to others. So, great question, and yeah, support.imagen-ai.com. That'll do that. Okay, Catalina said, "Oh, okay, yeah. That you could submit a request. Great." No problem, Paul. Any other questions? Any demo requests? Anything you'd like to see? Would you like to see a specific talent edited? I could run through anything right now. I have no other pre-submitted questions. I don't have any other comments. I'd love to answer anything I can. And if you're not already in the Imagen community, be sure to join. All you got to do is go right there, imagen-ai.com/community. You'll see a link to our Facebook group, a little introduction, and you just join. Very simple, very simple. And you get to hang out. We have some exclusive live events as well, which we'll have, of course, when Culling comes out, we'll have some exclusive live events and other special guest appearances and things like that. We got a lot in the works, so I'm very excited. Any other questions? I'd love to answer more questions if we have them. Otherwise, this is going to be a fairly short live event. But I do appreciate everybody who is already asking, commenting, and interacting. I really do appreciate it. But I know you got more questions for me. Let's give it another minute or 2 minutes. I know you have more questions for me. So let's see those questions. Let's see those comments. Let's see those requests. How about in the meantime, I'm going to run through an edit with the new profile, Love and Light from Sarah Edmonds. I'm going to add that to my account. I'm going to choose a recent catalog. And then I'm going to go to collections, and I'm going to choose Where is it? Ross and Rachel. And this is live demo 8/3, August 3, 2022. All right. And I'm going to send 197 photos. I'm going to just do let's see if I can cut this down to less. I don't even know what I have filtered right now in this. That's so funny. None. Let's see. All right, I guess I'm doing 197. Actually, I can do a little less. Whatever, I'll just do 197. It's okay. Let's straighten. I'm not going to crop. And we'll just upload these. And we'll let that go while we have more another comment coming in. Alicia, when is culling planned to be released, or is it still in the works? Still in the works. We'll have dates very, very soon. Can't share too much, unfortunately, but hopefully really soon we'll even have something visual to share with you. But if you haven't already signed up for the culling beta, you can do so. Let me add that to the screen real quick. You can actually sign up for culling beta. Don't mind me while I type this. And so here is how you can sign up for culling beta if you have not already. And then once we have that available, we will be sharing that with you. But hopefully, around the point when the culling beta goes out to all the beta signups, we will have something to share more visual with you. But thank you for asking that, Alicia. Thank you for asking that. Okay, so we can see that it's almost done, 50 seconds or so to go for it to upload. One of the things that comes up a bunch I want to talk about briefly is the smart preview thing. Now, I want to mention that with that, Imagen, the app, will actually create our own version of a smart preview if you don't already do it. So for those who are experiencing large upload times, if it could be not necessarily the upload itself, but the fact that the app is now utilizing Adobe DNG Converter in order to create a temporary copy, shrink it down in pixels, compress that DNG, and then upload, and then delete the temporary copy. If you use smart previews, it doesn't have to do that. It bypasses that entire process. You can see that upload is now done. It bypasses that entire process and literally just uploads the smart previews. So if you're using smart previews ahead of time in Lightroom, then we're going to utilize those and just make the uploading and editing process even faster for you than what it would be if you're not. The editing process, the actual editing time, is the same whether you're using smart previews or not, but it's the upload time that will get faster and in turn make the whole workflow faster for you because the upload time is faster. So consider using smart previews whenever possible, especially those who travel a lot, destination wedding photographers and so on, who are trying to do this either on the road, or if you're a sports photographer trying to do this in the field and you're using a 5G connection, for example, or something like that, then using smart previews will definitely save you the time from that upload process, which will, obviously be helpful. All right, so this is processing. So it'll take a little bit. I don't know how fast it's going to go. You never know, but it should be pretty fast, a couple of minutes. In the meantime, are there any other questions for me while this is going? No. Okay. So please get your questions in here right after this demo. If there's no other questions, we're going to wrap up the live stream. But if you've got a question, now's a good time to ask. And again, if you are watching the replay of this, please just comment with the word replay because I want to know if you're watching the replay. Okay. Let's see. Still processing. Oh, there it goes. It's ready. Okay. So let me hide the comment thing. Okay. We're going to download the edits. Now, I currently do not hit open Lightroom after the fact. And I think I mentioned this in the last live stream. And the reason I don't is because I have a pre-release version of Lightroom on this machine. And we default to open that when the pre-release is installed. And I don't want to use, I use a specific test catalog on the pre-release version versus the test catalog I use for these. So I'm going to hit close, and I'm going to manually open Lightroom. Again, so it has nothing to do with Imagen. It just has to do with Adobe and how it works with the pre-release versions of Lightroom Classic. So let's give that a little time. We got a question that came in. Gary, any suggestions on how to edit the horrible green skin tones from Sony files? I have played with HSL sliders and never had much luck. Do you have any suggestions? That's a really good question. I'm going to tell you straight up, I am the worst person to talk to about actual color editing. I am colorblind. I have never been great at color editing, which is one of the reasons why I love Imagen so much, so I don't have to think about it. I have always relied on my wife to to help me with my color editing. I think that's something, if you actually email support, open a support ticket, and actually ask them that question, or post in the community, actually, even better, post in the community saying, with that question, share that you have trouble with green skin tones from Sony files and ask if anybody has any advice. There's a lot of people like Garrett Torres, who I believe uses Sony, who loves making videos. Garrett is somebody who would probably be a really good person to show you exactly what he does. So I suggest doing that. You can even either mention Garrett, or I will for you. So please post it in the community, and I'll help you get your answer, Gary. Great question. Sorry I can't answer that. I'm the wrong person to talk to about color. Could we? Alicia wants to see a demo of Timeless Color as well. Sure, we could do that too. Let me show this real quick. So this is Sarah's profile. This is the new Love and Light profile. And as I go down, you can see very consistent. These are still popping in. Give them a little time. There they go. Very consistent throughout. This was a proposal. This is one of the regular demos. Awesome, Gary. Yeah, I definitely want to help you get that answer. Okay, so Alicia, are you interested in seeing a comparison between Sarah's profile and Rachel's Timeless Color? If you are, I can actually do that side by side and just replicate this. Just comment, let me know. I'm going to prepare to do that right now if that's something that interests you. Oops. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Okay, perfect. I will do that for you, Rachel. I mean, Alicia. See, too many names going on right now. I'm thinking about the sorry about that. Okay, include virtual copies. Give that a second. Lightroom is not the fastest at doing this. Okay, there's that. Let's make sure I'm in there. And let us reset all of those. Give it a second to reset the settings. And now I'm going to close that. Create a new project. Collections. Ross and Rachel, Timeless Color. Let's do Timeless Color. And this is demo August 3rd, 2022, Timeless Color. This is a live, not a demo. Let's do live. Straighten, do all of them again. Okay, So that is going. Let's give that some time, and then I'll show you some of them side by side. All right. Samir, for culling, will there be the ability to automate the selection of specific images that can be used for blogging highlights? If so, can you elaborate? I have nothing to share about that. As I said, I can't share too many details about culling. As soon as I have details that I'm able to share, we will share it. We'll have a whole live stream about Q&A with culling. I promise, as soon as I'm authorized to share details about culling, I will have details to share about culling. I know it's highly anticipated. We're so grateful for all the desire, all the requests. We know that there's a lot of things that users of other AI culling have been unhappy with or wanting more. So we're trying to fill the gaps and really get everything that you want out of an AI culling solution. But until then, I can't share too much. Gary says, can you explain to us how you managed to keep the last edit using Sarah's profile and now with the new edit compared side by side? I'm interested in editing in a couple different talent profiles and comparing them side by side as well. Sorry, comment got cut off. Let me read that. Wasn't sure how to do it. Yeah, I will definitely show you. Once this is done, I will reopen Lightroom and show you. But in summary, I'm using virtual copies and collections and virtual copies. I am actually planning a video to show how to organize Lightroom to do a complete test. And actually, Garrett Torres did a video on this as well on his YouTube channel, and he shared it in the community a while back, before a bunch of the recent talent profiles. But the secret sauce basically is collections and virtual copies. Okay, so that is done. Let's wait for that to edit. So basically what's going to happen is the virtual copy is not going to impact the main version of the edit. In fact, the one I did with Sarah's profile is also a virtual copy. So that's just how I've organized my test, demo testing catalog, so that I've got tons of virtual copies and I'm never damaging the original. So long story short, new collection with virtual copies. You can then star rate it or color code it so you can recognize which is which. And you'll see when I bring up the Lightroom catalog in a little bit, you'll also see how I have it organized in there. And then basically you would create new projects, and in batches you prepare all these new projects with your tests and then upload them all at once. And then you're going to get them back one by one. You just hit download, and you pop open Lightroom when all of them are downloaded, and then you see all the edits appear. And the cool part is that you can do them all side by side by having them in a collection and inside of a collection set. And you'll see what I mean by that as well. So let's give this a little bit of time to finish. And yeah, okay. Any other questions in here? Oh, I missed how you selected the virtual copies. Does it allow you to select a collection? Yes, Imagen allows you to select a collection. So if I go here and I choose my catalog, I can go over to collections, and here are all of my different collections. You can see I have one called Tierra, one called Simply Sublime. So I have one for each talent profile, and I can literally make collections in Lightroom called whatever I want. So here's the Ross and Rachel Timeless Color, compared to my regular Ross and Rachel, which is what I just edited with Sarah's. So, yeah, you can have multiple collections. Imagen we'll see the collections. All right, edits are done. Let's, real quick, let's hide comment. All right, download edits, continue. All right, let's open Lightroom again. While that's loading. Yeah, no worries, Gary. I mean, Lightroom is very complex, of course. There's so much that you can do in Lightroom. I will say that I am somebody who has one giant Lightroom catalog with 400,000 raw photos in it. I rely heavily on collection sets, collections, and virtual copies. So for me, that's always been in my workflow, basically since day one using Lightroom, almost 20 years ago, whatever it was when they first came out. But everybody has different workflows. Okay, so real quick, here is Ross and Rachel. Here is, this is Love and Light, and this is Timeless Color. You can see a very different editing style. The straightening should be pretty much the same, looks about the same, but you can see the editing style is completely different. I could show, if I select both, side by side. So I'm now selecting two different collections, and you can see the ones that have more contrast are Love and Light. The ones that are more pale are, more matted. Those are Timeless Color. And I can even go make my thumbnails larger if I want to literally see them 4 in a row, right? So I can do this. Here's 4 in a row, and I can literally just scroll and see the differences between the two different profiles on the fly fairly simply. Who was Alicia? You asked, right? Yeah, Alicia. So I hope this shows you the difference between the two profiles. You can see color-wise, the colors are pretty good. I mean, from my eyes stink as far as color goes, but just a matter of different contrast between the two. Way more matted for sure on Timeless Color versus nice punchy contrast, vibrant colors on Love and Light. So very different style of edit for sure. All right, let me show you. Where do I have it? Talent AI Profile Edit. Let me collapse all these so you can see just what I'm showing here. Okay, so I have a collection set. This collection set is called Talent AI Profile Test. You're very welcome, Alicia. Talent AI Profile Test. You can see I have one image. Now, this is also an image from my Ross and Rachel collection. But these are virtual copies. Each one of these is a virtual copy. There's some missing. I have to make one for Charmy's Cinematic Luxury, and Love and Light. I need to make one for Sarah's. So what I would do is I would literally go to the first one. I would hit Command. What is that? The command quote, right? It made a virtual copy. I'm now going to drag that down to Love and Light, and now there's one in Love and Light. I'm going to delete the virtual copy from Body Language. I'm going to do it one more time, and I'm going to move it to Cinematic Luxury. And I'm going to delete the virtual copy from Body Language. So now, if I go here, I've got the same amount of virtual copies in the main collection set as I do in each collection. I have one, in each collection. So now I could color code. I could star rate. You can see they're all 1 star right now, but I could change that. And I could literally go to, let's say I want to see in particular, I want to see California Dreaming, red, Cinematic Luxury, yellow, Clean and Crisp is green, Love and Light is blue. And now let's say if I go back to here, I can see the color coding, and now I can identify which talent profile it was, just from that. I suggest having like a note or something like that open that you can clearly see what you identified. Or you could also use star rating, so you obviously only have so many colors. So it might be that you go body language is 1, black and white is 2. You may not even need to do that because there's only one black and white profile right now. We go down to natural feels, and let's say that's 3. Romantic pastel is 4. Simply sublime is 5. Now, obviously, again, I'm out of star ratings now. So you basically come up with a way to identify for when you're viewing like this, or you could go in and you can go to the metadata and actually say, in the metadata for each image, I can say here, I want to make actually, you do comments. Nope, comments are from, what's it called? Default. Okay, so here I can say title, and I can say this is body language, right? So I could do that, and now I can identify from that way, just looking at the metadata that I added. So there's many ways you can go about sort of tagging in a way You could also literally use keywords if you want. But basically, the idea is you can go in, you can do all of your edits, which obviously I haven't done yet, and you can do all of your edits and then view them in one shot and see what you like the best. And you can do this with, however many images you want to test it with. And I'll probably wind up doing it with like 3 or 4 from, and test it for each. So this is a video I plan on making all in due time. But yeah, I hope that's helpful. If there are any final questions, please get them in now. Otherwise, I do appreciate everybody sticking around, asking questions, commenting, sharing where you're from, where you're watching from, and what you're shooting this weekend. Definitely appreciate it. And finally, if you want to pre-submit your questions, again, this is perfect for anybody watching the replay. To pre-submit your questions for the next live stream, go to bit.ly/ImagenLiveQA. You can pre-submit your questions there. That will also be in the comments for, I'll be sure to add that to the comments for the video. So if you're watching the replay, you can just click that and go ahead and do that. And with that said, hi, Sam. Why are you not sleeping, Sam? Seriously. I guess I can't say that this time. We have 2 people watching from Australia. So, yeah. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Be sure to get your questions in for the next live stream if you don't think you might be able to, if you don't think you'll be able to make it. Pre-submit your questions. And I look forward to answering your questions, chatting with you, and all that next time. So, which should be next week. On Wednesday.